Alright, so we managed to sneak out to the track today. It's Friday. We got in on a track rental at the Texas Motorplex. We are here with the blue S550 that I did the Hellion twin turbo kit on. If you'll remember a few videos ago, the last time we were out here with it, it broke an axle, and so we got that fixed. We put a different brand of axle in it. We went to a G-force axle. Hopefully get something to hold up a little better. And outside of that, the only changes to the car besides the axles are it has forged welds on the front of it now, and you'll see that here in a minute. I expect the car to go with the same tune-up, 1040s, probably 143 or so, something like that. Weather's not real good. It's still kind of hot. I suspect the DA is probably in the 3,000 foot range. I'll check that shortly and I'll get back to you. Can you do an interview?
No.
What's your name? Steve?
No.
Or it's what is your name? It's not Steve?
No.
Well, what is it?
Cannon.
Cannon. Crandall?
No. That's your name.
Oh, Cameron.
No.
Oh, well, what is it?
Cannon.
Oh, okay. All right, guys, this is Cannon. He's our new driver for tonight. We're going up to check the track out and see what everything looks like. I told him if he don't get some good reaction times, he doesn't have the job. We're gonna have to hire somebody else. All right, to say that I'm surprised is an understatement. That was a 1010 at 145.42, which is better than our previous best by over 3/10. So we still got some room to go on our dyno tune. We haven't got all the way to that setting yet. We're going 9s today. Okay, so on the first two passes, the boost controller was set the way it was set in the last video we made about this car. It was set with 55% duty cycle, and that is how it was set when it broke the axle. So we never had a good pass out of that setting. So the previous best was 1056, I think, at 139, which was a little bit lower boost. This time, the car went, on the first pass, it went a 1010 at 146, and then followed that up with another a 1011 at 146. So there was immediately, first two passes were, you know, best passes ever the car's ever made. No changes, no nothing, just that. And of course the car has new front wheels on it, which you may have noticed if you saw the last video. Now we're going to the third pass. On the third pass, we changed the boost controller settings over to 65%, which is the most we dynoed the car with, and it makes about 12.5 to 13 pounds of boost. The car didn't appear to like that, and I think in hindsight, I think what had happened was the transmission was probably hotter than it wanted to be, or than it liked to be, and it just didn't want to shift into fourth gear, I guess. So we go up for the next pass and check that out. Okay, so for the fourth pass, we tried to compromise. And when I say compromise, all I mean is that we turned the boost controller down from 65%. So the first two passes were 55%. The third pass was at 65%. And like I said, on the fourth pass, we compromised and we turned it down to 60% to also try to make sure that there wasn't something that the car didn't like, you know, like power-wise or something like that. So with 60% in the duty cycle, it made 12.5 pounds, I think, peak on that run. And it went 10:08, 147 on that pass. So here it is. Check that one out. Okay, so for the 5th pass, we made a couple of changes to the car, or we made a change to the car, which was turning the boost control back up. So this time I went to 70% on the duty cycle, which we didn't ever dyno it that high, and we had never had that much boost in it. So if you'll notice on the in-car camera, it's pointed at the boost controller, and you see it flash, I think it says BS0 or BSC or something like that. And if you listen close, you'll hear the car nose over and then back up and then nose over and then back up. Every time you see that flash on the screen, I think it happens 3, maybe 4 times during the run. That's boost cut. I forgot all about it. So on the dyno, I had set the boost cut to 15 pounds, or boost safety. So what it does is the boost controller essentially turns off, or it reverts back to 0, and then it builds back up to the 70%, and then every time it hits that 15 psi boost range, it shuts it down again, and rinse and repeat. So even doing that 3 or 4 times during the run, it still managed to go 10-10 again. So we have a bracket car, I guess, which is kind of boring. We don't like bracket cars. Anyways, I'm thoroughly impressed and excited with how the car is running. This is a completely stock car except for the turbo kit and the fuel system, and of course axles. It's really impressive how well these things run, and I'm pretty excited about it. We have a couple of things we're going to do to the car in the future before it goes back to the track, one of which is a torque converter, and that should make a substantial difference in how it runs. I'm kind of looking forward to that. Anyways, that is the end of the video, guys. I appreciate everybody stopping by and checking it out. If you haven't, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Thanks.